Good morning and welcome. It's 9 o'clock. It is Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. I'm very thankful to all of you who subscribe to my vlog and still want to be part of this grand experiment. And I'm thankful for all of you who are going to subscribe to my vlog and help me hit 1,000 subs. It is 9 o'clock. It is a medium 66 degrees sunny day here in Ventura with 30-mile-per-hour winds because winter. And today's topic is the idea of a paid game master, paying someone to run a game for you. It's silly because a few years ago I posted a thing that there was no such thing as a professional game master, and the idea of paying to play D&D, something you could do for free, was ridiculous. But I was wrong, because it exists. There are paid game masters out there. There are people who are claiming they're professional game masters, and some of them are charging what I would consider a rather outrageous sum of money for 4 hours of D&D, or whatever, mostly D&D, in exchange for you taking part in a game and paying him to run a game or her a game that you could have played for free. So I'm of two minds, obviously, of the idea of a paid game master. Now, in one corner, it's the dream, right? Who wouldn't want to get to do this professionally? Have somebody pay you to go to a place and run a game for them, something you would have done for free, something you love, and have that built-in audience paying you on a weekly, monthly basis, anywhere from $20 to a couple hundred to run a 4 or 6 hour session of D&D, something you were probably going to do anyways. I mean, that's got to be on the dream, right? That's got to be of the top bucket list for anybody who plays the game. Get paid to run, get paid to play, get paid to be a professional dungeon master. So yeah, that's the dream, right? I mean, good on you. If you managed to make a career out of this silly little hobby and people are paying you, what's not to love? I mean, I wish somebody would pay me. So yeah, I mean, that's great, right? On the other hand, because there is their other hand, the second you start getting paid, you become a paid service provider. And with that comes a lot of expectations. Paying you to run a DM is kind of like having a contract. I'm contracting you to run a game. And while running this game, I have expectations of the service I'm going to get. And if I don't get that service, I might react poorly. And as we've seen repeatedly in the news, especially over the past couple years, the way service providers are treated, if they're not providing the service that people think they're supposed to provide, has become increasingly violent. I mean, just the other day, there was a story about a woman who got scalding hot soup thrown in her face because the customer was upset that the soup was hot. And while the server was trying to satisfy the customer and help her resolve this, and like, I can refund your money, I can, do something else, but she got the scalding hot soup thrown in her face, had to be taken to the hospital, almost lost an eye, simply because the customer was upset that the hot soup was hot. Now, that could happen to a professional DM. I mean, you say you're going to run a game and your players have a certain expectation, and we know that how people treat service providers, and you don't meet those expectations, they could, in return, react accordingly. I mean, in one scenario, hey, you didn't fulfill the contract that I had with you. I'm taking you to court for breach of contract. I had an expectation. I paid you money for this expectation. You did not meet that expectation. You did not fulfill the contract. I'm taking you to court. And on the list of bad things that could happen to you now that you're a paid supervisor, that's the least bad. Or they could, I don't know, throw dice in your face, hit you, stab you. I mean, how many stories have we seen this year about somebody going through a drive-thru and being upset and going and stabbing the drive-through guy, or, messing up. There's one the other day about a bunch of people who got in trouble at Walmart, and instead of leaving, they vandalized and destroyed the Walmart and kicked and attacked the guy who's told them, hey, chill out. What if that happens? I mean, that's literally a possibility. You're running a D&D game, and these people react the same way that, these idiots are reacting because the hot soup was hot, or the lady on the airplane told them they had to wear a mask, or the service provider at the drive-thru said, oh, I don't have that in stock. And they jump you. They throw the dice at you. They attack you. That's literally something you have to consider now that you're a paid service provider. So yeah, it's the dream. Great, you're getting somebody to pay you to run a D&D game. But on the other hand, you're placing yourself in that position where you have this contract and you're setting up expectations that this is now a paid game. And if you don't meet those expectations, worst case scenario, they don't pay you. Second worst case scenario, they take you to court for breach of contract. Third worst case scenario, they attack you. They harm you. Thankfully, there is a happy medium to this weird new world. You could be a paid game master running at a store or a library or a club or through a camp like Primetime Sports Camp in Santa Monica, or at a friendly local game store like Cess Games Anime here in Ventura, or on a college campus, someplace where there's a controlled environment and you're working in conjunction with, say, the store. Like the store runs sponsored games, and you are the individual running the game. In exchange for paying the store money, the players are guaranteed a table to sit at. They're guaranteed a certain amount of time. They're guaranteed a certain amount of seats. And maybe, I don't know, they get a discount. I mean, that's what I would do. I would say, I'm going to run a 3-week teach you how to play D&D course. And here at Cess Games and Anime in Ventura. And during that 3 weeks, it's going to cost you $10 a head to pay Seth to have me set aside the table space and run that game for you. Out of that, I will get a percentage of that. And in return, you get a 3-week game session, introduction to D&D section. You get to keep the characters you make. You get a free set of dice or a discount on something in the store. And you get the promise that when you return, you are now able to play the game. So I, as the professional DM, have gotten paid. Wow, a lot of Freudian slips today. Must be this crazy wind. The store has made money because the store is saying you get discounts, and plus it's more likely they will return to the store. So that is probably the best way to do it. Do it in conjunction with a store or a club or a sports camp like Primetime Sports Camp, or an FLGS like Success Games and Anime, or a library where they pay to confirm that they have a space. There are other individuals there to make sure everybody's protected and the contract is fulfilled. Let them know ahead of time these are the expectations that you can have that are reasonable. And I think that's the best way, because I know people are getting paid to do this. And again, great, good on you that you've turned this hobby into a career, which is sort of a silly idea. That's like saying, yeah, I've turned playing with Legos into a career. Oh, wait. There are people who make money playing with Legos and building Lego constructs. So, excuse me, wind, allergies. But you're helping to support an organization or a club or a store, and you're placing yourself in a safe position. Because we know people have expectations now, unreasonable expectations of how the game should be. Thank you to Critical Role. Thank you, Critical Role, for continuing to ruin the hobby. And we know that when expectations are not met in the service industry, people react poorly. So if you think being a paid game master is something you want to do, work with a store. Do not, on any circumstances, go to somebody's house until you know them really, really well, or have anybody come to your house, because then it becomes private property, and then it becomes a whole new bag of legal stuff that you are placing yourself in risk at. Do it at a public place, do it at a store, a library, a club, do it in conjunction with a store. So if anybody's angry, there's other people to protect you. There's legal stuff in place to protect you. You don't get sued for breach of contract. You don't get attacked. Well, I mean, you could still get attacked, sadly, but the store is there to protect you, and there's certain safety measures in place. I mean, I love the fact that this has happened. Don't get me wrong. If you can get paid to do this, something that you would have done for free, to do this ridiculous, silly hobby once a month, great. But be safe. Be smart. Understand that you are now providing a service, and when that service is provided, expectations are in place, and people might react poorly if those expectations are not met. So just be careful, be smart, and understand that this roller coaster of popularity for our hobby is not going to last, and that cushy little job that you think you got running D&D every week might go away. So if you have a day job, don't quit your day job. If you get anything out of this 10 minutes of me talking nonsense, even if you're getting paid to play D&D, run D&D, do not quit your day job, and make sure that money is invested well, because it could go away at any second. And be safe. If you're a professional DM, God, be safe. Don't go to their houses. Don't have them come to your houses. Do it in a public place. Make sure you're safe. Make sure everybody understands the expectations, the contracts, so you do not get hurt. That's it. That's all I have to say about this idea. It's amazing that it's come to this. Congratulations if you're doing it. Thank you for being part of the OG GM Adventures. If you hadn't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe so I can get paid. And I will talk to you later. Be safe.